Hi everyone, today we are talking about absolute value. So absolute value is an important vocabulary word you're going to want to write into your notebook. The absolute value is just a fancy word that's asking us for the distance that the number is from zero on the number line. Keyword distance. It's the distance that the number is from zero on the number line. Put that in your notes. So for example, if we're looking at positive 3 and negative 3, and we wanted to know their distance away from 0, put 0 right here in a different color, all they're asking us to do is to figure out how many jumps that number is from 0. Okay, so 3 would be 1, 2, 3 spots away from 0, and negative 3 would be also 1, 2, 3 spots away from 0. So they actually have the same distance away from 0. So when somebody is asking us the absolute value of negative 3, it's 3. The absolute value of positive 3 is also 3. We write the absolute value using these special long bars right here. Why? Because mathematicians are lazy. We don't like to write out the entire thing, the absolute value of negative 3. We just put the negative 3 inside these absolute value bars and we call it a day. And we just say, hey, everybody know that this is what we're talking about. Whenever you see these long bars around a number, it's basically we're asking you to find the absolute value. Okay? So that's why right here, you can say that the absolute value of negative 3 is really equal to the absolute value of positive 3 because they're both equal to the value of 3. These two are actually equal to each other because these two numbers are the same distance away from 0. One's just on the right and one's just on the left. Because remember, absolute value is the distance. You'll also notice that the absolute value of a number is never negative. Why? Because absolute value, since it's talking about distance is never negative, right? No one's going to say, hey, how far away do you live from school? And you say, oh, I live 5 miles away. You're not going to say, I live negative 5 miles away because you live south of the school, right? So that would just be so weird. Since absolute value is talking about distance, it's never going to be negative because distance is never negative. Make sure you put that into your notes as well. You can always pause the video if I'm going too quickly. All right, let's move on then. Let's take a look at this example down here. They want us to simplify the following. Part A is asking you for the absolute value of negative 9, because remember we're lazy, we just put it between the bars. You get what we mean. Part B is asking for the absolute value of 0. Part C is asking for the negative absolute value of negative 10. Pause the video and try it on your own first. All right, let's take a look at these answers. I'm going to draw a number line to show my work. I'm going to draw a long number line. I'm going to put 0 in the middle. And I need negative 9 and negative 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's negative 9, and here's negative 10. Okay, the first one. I need to find the absolute value of negative 9. So here's negative 9. Let me see how many jumps it takes. What's the distance from 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. So the absolute value of negative 9 is equal to positive 9 because distance is positive. Okay, part B. What's the absolute value of 0? Well, how they're basically asking us how far away 0 is from 0. 0 is right there. So the absolute value of 0 would be 0. Can't jump anywhere. It's already there. Let's try the next one. The negative absolute value of negative 10. Okay, so let's see. I have negative 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is the answer here for the absolute value of negative 10. But look, I have another negative outside. So now that changes my answer to negative 10 because they wanted us to find the absolute value of negative 10, but then they wanted the negative value of that. So only because that negative is outside of the absolute value bars does that change the answer, the final answer, to negative 10 because it's outside of the absolute value bars. Okay? All right, let's move on then. Let's try this problem. Given the numbers negative 6.5, 7, and negative 18, arrange A, the numbers in ascending order, and B, the absolute values of the numbers in descending order. Go ahead and pause the video and try that on your own. Okay. So I'm going to kind of roughly draw a number line. It's not going to be exact. Okay, so here's 0, 7's going to be somewhere over here, positive 7. Negative 6.5 is going to be over here, and negative 18 is going to be over here. It's very important. Actually, let me draw my numbers above so you can see, because that's kind of in the way there. 0, 7, negative 6.5, and negative 18. Okay, so this is just kind of letting me know where the numbers are on the number line. Remember, negative 18 is going to be less than negative 6.5 because owing someone $18 means you're way poorer than the person that only owes someone $6.50. And obviously the person with $7 is the richest because they actually have money. Okay, so part A, arrange the numbers in ascending order. Ascending order is from least to greatest, going from smallest to biggest. Okay, well, we know that the further left you go on the number line, the smaller the number is, the less the number is. The further right you go, the greater the number is. So it's kind of already in ascending order. I just got to write it down. Negative 18, then negative 6.5, and then 7. That's it in ascending order, least to greatest. It's basically what you see left to right on a number line. Now we want to look at the absolute values of the number in descending order. So from from greatest to least, the absolute values. Okay, remember, absolute value is telling you the distance. So let's start with negative 18. The absolute value of negative 18, they're basically asking how far away negative 18 is from 0. Well, it's going to be 18 jumps away from 0. Positive 18. The next one, let's take a look at the absolute value of negative 6.5. Okay, let's use a different color. Negative 6.5 is going to be 6.5 jumps away from 0. And then lastly, the absolute value of 7, how far away 7 is from 0. 7 is going to be 7 jumps away from 0. Okay, so we want to order them from descending order, so greatest to least. Greatest one is 18. So absolute value of 18, because remember we're ordering the absolute values, got to write it with absolute value. Then next is absolute value of 7. And lastly, absolute value of negative 6.5. Okay? Because we wanted to figure out the descending order, greatest to least. This is the greatest, then this one, then this one. But since they're asking absolute value, we got to write it in these forms over here. So we're writing it using the absolute value.